Alrighty. Ouch. Wow. What was that? Mi hermano del alma, realmente el amigo, que en todo camina y jornada está siempre conmigo. Aunque eres un hombre, aún tienes algo de niño. Aquel que me da su amistad, su respeto y cariño. Recuerdo que juntos pasamos muy duros momentos. Tú no cambiaste por fuertes que fueran los vientos. Es tu corazón una casa de puerta abierta. Tú eres realmente el más cierto en horas inciertas. Momentos difíciles que hay en la vida, buscamos a quien nos ayude a encontrar la salida. Y aquella palabra de fuerza y de fe que me has dado me da la certeza que siempre tuvieras a mi lado. Tú eres mi amigo del alma en toda jornada. Sonrisa y abrazo fiesto a cada llegada. Me dices verdades tan grandes con frases abiertas. Tú eres realmente el más cierto en horas inciertas. Ni decir todo eso que te digo, pero es como así sentí que eres tú mi gran amigo. Ni decir todo sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. Let's get into it. Fender.
Hey there, how are things going? By this point, you should have finished the first few courses in Level 1. Throughout your path, we'll add some troubleshooting tips in each level to help you along. In this one, we'll look at ways to avoid pain in your fingers and wrists, posture, I'll even show you some modifications, and fretting notes. Two common complaints from new players is 1, my fingers hurt, and 2, my wrist and or forearm hurt. Starting with the painful fingers. Congratulations, that means you've been practicing. The best way to get over the pain is to keep playing, but not overdo it. Practice a few minutes at a time and take lots of breaks. You'll see a difference in about a month with regular practice. Or maybe your wrist hurts from holding the guitar at a weird angle. If your wrist or forearm start to hurt, you need to take a break and rest. Ultimately, the goal is to keep your wrist as straight as possible. And good form really helps with that. So let's talk about what that means. First things first, no slouching. Good playing and the ability to play for longer periods of time starts with good posture, so sit up straight. When practicing, be sure that you're seated at the edge of your chair with the guitar neck angled slightly away from you. Hug the guitar into your body and drape your strum hand arm over the body of the guitar. If this seating position doesn't seem to work for you, here are 2 more options you can experiment with. Cross your right leg over left, or left over right if you're a lefty. For some people, this helps to better support the instrument with essentially the side of your body and elbow. 2, play in a more classical guitar positioning with the guitar resting on your left leg. And if you happen to have a stool, you can put it under your left leg. This brings your strum hand elbow down and can even help promote a straighter fret hand wrist. You can also play seated with a strap for additional support. Now, let's look at fretting notes. If you're not fretting properly, your notes can sound muted or you can get fret buzz. When you're fretting notes, be sure that you're playing with your fingertips, not the pad, and keep them arched. Playing right behind the fret, not on top of the fret. Applying just enough pressure on the string so the note rings out clearly, so not too much or too little. is your thumb placement behind the neck. It might take getting used to, but if your thumb is pointing sideways towards the headstock, be sure to make the correction whenever you notice. Just remember, thumbs up. Good posture and proper thumb placement will help you play with a straight wrist and can even help to prevent injury down the road. I hope this information has been helpful. Remember to practice as much as you can, but take breaks often. Pay attention to your posture and form so you can play comfortably for longer periods of time. Modify if you need to. See ya. Having trouble tuning your guitar? I'm here to help. First, I want to review some common questions that new students have about tuning, and then we'll talk about how to engage your ear when it seems as though your tuner isn't working properly. Let's go over some tuning basics that students ask about all the time. First up, how often should I tune? Check your tuning every time you play. Why does my guitar go out of tune? Your guitar is made of wood and is susceptible to changes in temperature and humidity. Your strings will also stretch and lose tension over time. Another common point of frustration is when you tune your guitar and it still seems out of tune. Is there something wrong with the guitar? Your guitar is probably fine. There are two things to consider here. If your guitar was so far out of tune to begin with, then it'll take longer for it to adjust to the strings being under proper tension. A second check through on each string usually does the trick. Be sure that you're always tuning up to the note. Remember that if your guitar string is sharp or too tight, to go ahead and over-loosen the string so that it's flat. Then tighten the string up to the proper pitch. When you do this, the string is less likely to go flat when you start playing. Finally, are you just having trouble using your tuner or the Fender Tune app? If you're brand new to playing, your guitar might be so far out of tune that your electronic devices can't even register which string you're trying to tune. And if you're really far out of tune, you could potentially over-tighten a string until it breaks. Not to worry, your tuner is not broken, and there is a solution: your ear. If your guitar is really out of tune or has never been tuned, you'll need to listen to a reference pitch to hear what the string is supposed to sound like. If you have the Fender Tune app, you're all set. Just open up the app and select manual mode. Simply press on the letter name of the string you're trying to tune to listen to what it's supposed to sound like. Here's an example. My B string is really out of tune. Listen. The string is so far out of tune that most tuners won't be able to tell which string I'm playing. So I'll check with the Tune app to find out what the string is supposed to sound like. Now I can hear what the string is supposed to sound like and adjust my guitar string. This string is really flat or loose, so I'll go ahead and tighten it up. Be sure to let the string ring out and sustain as you tighten. Once you dial in each string this way, you can then switch the Tune app back to auto. And since you're now so much closer to being in tune, it should work fine. I hope this has been helpful. Remember to tune often. The more you tune, the more quickly and accurately you'll be able to tune your guitar, even by ear. Good luck.
Battery died.
In this lesson, we'll learn how to play an E minor chord. First, we'll review what a chord is, and then I will show you how to play E minor. A chord is a combination of notes played at the same time. To play chords on the guitar, we strum multiple strings while holding various finger shapes in our fret hand. Let's learn how to play an E minor chord. Here's what it sounds like. To make the E minor chord, we'll put our first finger on the second fret of the A string and our second finger on the second fret of the D string. We'll strum all 6 strings. Be sure your fingers are arched off the open strings and your thumb is pointed up behind the neck. Let's take our fingers off the guitar guitar and try building that chord again. So your first finger goes to the second fret of the A string, and your second finger goes to the second fret of the D string. Make sure your fingers are right behind the fret, not on top or too far back. Strum 6 strings down. Let's look at this chord from over the shoulder as well. So remember, first finger to the second fret of the A string, and second finger to the second fret of the D string. And that's how you play the E minor chord. In this exercise, we'll practice finger placement for the E minor chord. Let's review the E minor chord. To make E minor, we'll put our first finger on the second fret of the A string, and our second finger on the second fret of the D string. We'll strum all 6 strings. Let's take our hands off the strings and practice finding this chord 5 times. We'll make the chord strum, then take our hand off the strings. Let's not worry about keeping any strict tempo. We'll just go slow and make sure we have the fingers ready before playing. Here we go. So E minor chord, put your first finger, second finger down. Now hand off, first finger, second finger. This is the second time. Hand off, first finger to the 5th string, second finger to the 4th string. Two more times left, so relax for a second, then back. There it is. And last time, relax. Get the first finger, the second finger, and strum. Keep practicing this exercise until your fingers can go to the E minor chord. We'll see you next time. Let's learn how to play an A minor chord. Here's what it sounds like. We'll need 3 fingers to play this chord. We'll put our first finger on the first fret of the B string, our second finger on the second fret of the D string, and our third finger on the second fret of the G string. We'll strum 5 strings down from the open string. Be sure your fingers are arched and your thumb is pointed up behind the neck. So now let's take our fingers off the guitar and try building that chord again. So first finger goes to the first fret of the B string, second finger goes to the second fret of the D string, and the third finger goes to the second fret of the G string. Make sure your fingers are right behind the fret and not on top or too far back.